Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're unpacking a deeply sobering and completely heartbreaking situation out of Bangladesh. We are looking into the tragic loss of a young life, a case that has absolutely shocked a local community and raises some really serious questions about the fatal consequences of reckless behavior. Just a heads up right off the bat, the subject matter we're covering today is inherently grave, so please keep that in mind as we go through the facts.
Let's set the scene, because this story starts off incredibly normal. We're talking about a 9-year-old boy, Ramim Mia, who was simply visiting his family. He headed out to a local market in Gajaria Bazaar, and his reason for being there was about as ordinary as it gets. He was just visiting his grandfather, Amzad Hossein. It was supposed to be a totally normal morning in a bustling marketplace. But as you'll see, this innocent visit would soon end in an unimaginable tragedy.
Section 1, a fatal prank. To really grasp what happened here, we've got to look at the folks involved and the tight-knit nature of this community. We have our victim, 9-year-old Ramim. His dad, Ripan Mia, runs a sanitary goods shop right there in the market. The grandfather Ramim went to visit, Amzad Hossein, is also a fixture there, working as a corrugated sheet trader. The location for all this is Gajaria Bazaar, over in Narsingdi's Palash Upazila. So Ramim wasn't in some strange, unfamiliar place. He was surrounded by familiar faces and his family's businesses. So the clock hits 9 a.m. It was around this time that young Ramim, likely just exploring the market the way kids do, wandered away from his family's shops. He made his way into a nearby battery-run auto rickshaw garage. We know from the reports that this specific garage was owned by a man named Faisal Mia. Again, a seemingly mundane setting, right? Just a local garage operating on a typical morning. But what happens next inside that garage is just absolutely horrific. Compressed air was literally pumped through the child's rectum using a tire inflator machine. According to statements from Ramim's dad, a 34-year-old rickshaw puller named Sabuj Mia allegedly committed this act. And what makes this even more shocking, if that's even possible, is that it was allegedly done as a prank. We're talking about heavy industrial equipment meant to inflate vehicle tires used on a 9-year-old child in what was claimed to be a joke. It highlights a terrifying disconnect between a reckless action and its immediate life-altering consequences. The timeline of that day is just rapid and tragic. Right after that 9 a.m. incident at the garage, Ramim fell critically ill. His abdomen swelled up severely, and locals who heard him screaming rushed in to help. They got him straight to the Narsingdi district hospital, but his condition was so bad that doctors immediately referred him to Dhaka for advanced care. By the afternoon, he was transferred to the capital. Yet, despite all these urgent interventions, at 5:15 p.m., 9-year-old Ramim was pronounced dead at a private hospital. In just over 8 hours, a normal morning visit ended his life. Section 2, the medical reality. To really understand why this so-called prank turned lethal, we have to look objectively at the medical facts. We have a clinical explanation right from Dr. MD Rakib Eskari, the duty doctor at Narsingdi District Hospital where Ramim was initially treated. He stated, excessive air pressure likely ruptured parts of Ramim's intestine, causing internal bleeding, severe abdominal pain, and breathing complications. Think about it. A tire inflator operates at a massive pressure meant for heavy vehicles. When you introduce that into a child's fragile anatomy, it causes violent expansion, immediate traumatic injury, and makes it impossible to breathe. This was a catastrophic medical emergency from the very first second. Section 3, the search for justice. So what happens next? Well, after the autopsy, Ramim's body was taken back to his family's village home, and he was buried that same afternoon. But the push for justice started pretty much immediately. That very evening, the grieving family filed a written complaint. Officer in charge Shahid Al-Mamoon of the Palash police station confirmed the details for us, noting the complaint specifically names the garage owner, Faisal Mia, and the 34-year-old rickshaw puller, Sabuj Mia, as suspects, along with 4 to 5 unnamed others. Local police have confirmed that operations are actively underway to arrest those involved. Beyond all the police reports and medical terminology, we cannot lose sight of the human element here. Ramim's father, Ripan Mia, has publicly demanded exemplary punishment for those who killed his son. He isn't just asking for the standard legal procedure. He wants an exemplary punishment. He wants a consequence so clear and so definitive that it serves as a strict warning to society. It's the agonizing plea of a father trying to find some measure of justice for a completely preventable loss. Which really leaves us with a critical question to think about. How can communities prevent reckless actions from costing innocent lives? What we've looked at today is a harrowing example of how severe negligence, framed as a simple joke, can result in the ultimate tragedy. It forces us all to ask how awareness around dangerous industrial tools is managed, and how a community safeguards its most vulnerable members in everyday settings. I encourage you to really reflect on this case, the devastating ripple effects of negligence, and what it takes to ensure something like this never, ever happens again. Thanks for joining me for this explainer.